Coming up in home team weather, very mild this afternoon, 80 degrees now in Tuscaloosa, 79 back in Jackson. How warm will the temperature stay over the next several days? And how about your weekend forecast? Weather straight ahead, stick around.
An out-of-control yard can buy you some enemies in your neighborhood, and it can cost you hundreds of dollars. Find out just how much money it could set you back in Tuscaloosa. But first, there is a new development in the case of a hit-and-run crash in Tuscaloosa that took a man's life. We're glad you're with us this evening. I'm Terry Brewer.
And I'm Lauren Brooks. Up first for you tonight at 5, an update to a story we brought you yesterday.
After an outpouring of information from the public, a man is now charged in connection with a hit-and-run in Tuscaloosa that took a man's life. The details on the arrest are in our top story tonight at 5 o'clock. It happened around 9 o'clock Sunday night on Greensboro Avenue, south of the Hargrove Road intersection. 57-year-old Frederick Lee Townsell was killed when he was struck by a vehicle. Police released a picture of the suspect's vehicle, and that's when tips from the public started coming in. The Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Unit says Christopher Philip Markham turned himself into homicide investigators around 10 o'clock this morning. He is charged with leaving the scene of an accident with injuries.
New for you at 5, a warning from the Tuscaloosa Police Department about keeping your grass cut. It could cost you more than you think. The Tuscaloosa County Municipal Court issued the homeowner of one house a $736 fine for grass and weeds exceeding 12 inches in height. That's the maximum allowed by city code. Police say first the homeowner gets a warning and you may be able to get some additional time granted. Police say it's about more than just what looks nice.
Anytime people quit cutting their grass, property value is going to drop. Once a neighborhood has multiple houses doing this, the crime rates will rise because a criminal looks at it if basically somebody's not taking care of their property, then it's going to be easier to break in the house and nobody will notice or actually care about it.
A large majority of homes with grass exceeding city code are tornado damaged homes. We'll have more information on how you can give or get help with that tonight on WVUA News at 6.
On your election watch, today marks 2 weeks until Election Day. And if you're not registered to vote yet, you're almost out of time. The deadline is this Friday, October 26th. Registration officials say with it being so close to the deadline, you need to deliver your form in person instead of mailing it. If you're voting by absentee ballot, it must be postmarked by the day before the election or hand-delivered by 5 p.m. the day before the election. And with the final countdown here, the presidential candidates are back on the road again.
Reporter Ed Payne shows you what they're up to now that the final debate is history.
It was billed as the battle in Boca, and both candidates came out swinging in the debate that focused on foreign policy. The two had this exchange over the Middle East.
Your strategy previously has been one that has been all over the map and is not designed to keep Americans safe or to build on the opportunities that exist in the Middle East.
We're talking about the Middle East and how to help the Middle East reject the kind of terrorism we're seeing and the rising tide of tumult and confusion. And attacking me is not an agenda. Attacking me is not talking about how we're going to deal with the challenges that exist in the Middle East.
Now they're hitting the road trying to reach undecided voters who could determine the election. Obama meets up with Vice President Joe Biden in Dayton, Ohio, after attending a grassroots event in Florida. Romney and running mate Paul Ryan will campaign together in Las Vegas, making their first joint appearance in the Silver State. Romney then heads to a campaign stop in Reno. The candidates' wives will also be visible. Michelle Obama returns to Las Vegas next week, hoping to drum up support for her husband's reelection. And Ann Romney dishes about her husband with TV hostess Rachel Ray in a show that airs Thursday. I'm Ed Payne reporting.
With 2 weeks to go before Election Day, the candidates are now neck and neck in national polls.
Something Alabama fans are also counting down to is this weekend's homecoming game against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Of course, the game isn't until Saturday evening at Bryant-Denny Stadium, but preparations are already underway across campus for all the homecoming festivities. This is a live look over Bryant-Denny Stadium from our WVUA tower camera. The annual bonfire and pep rally is set for campus on Friday evening starting at 7 o'clock. And one of this week's homecoming events is the Can Formation. It's part of the Beat Auburn, Beat Hunger food drive. Can Formation involves turning the cans into a work of art. The buildings are judged on creativity, originality, and visual appeal. One of the builders says it's harder than it looks.
We've been here for a few hours. We'll probably be here for a few more hours after that. It's taken a lot more time and cans than we thought we needed. So it's going to be a little bit of a tedious process, but it'll be worth it in the end.
And here are just a couple of the rules. The structures have to be made of at least 50 cans, and they have to be self-supporting. And you can celebrate the Tide with your home team on Homecoming Day.
Sure can. We're going to bring you the University of Alabama's Homecoming Parade live Saturday at 2 p.m. The First Lady of Crimson Tide football, Mrs. Terry Sabin, will once again be our celebrity co-host. This year's homecoming theme, Timeless Traditions. And during last year's parade, Mrs. Sabin talked a little bit about how important tradition is to her.
We just say, I think most people love tradition. And the older I get, the more important it is, the more I covet it, the more special it is. So I'm a big one, just like you talked about Christmas and the holidays coming up. I like to keep those traditions. So.
And again, you can find that parade right here on WVUA TV that Saturday at 2 p.m. Something that we always look forward to. Yeah. And Terry Brewer is once again going to ask Terry Sabin.
That's a lot of
some
fun,
things,
by the way. So, I mean, people have some great questions for her. And, of course, she has really good answers, too.
Last year, she got asked about her. They asked her about her dog.
Yeah.
Her chili recipe.
Their favorite meal.
Their favorite meal.
Yeah, hot dogs.
Superstitions.
So you're not going to forget that. Yeah, lots of good stuff. So you're not going to want to miss that. Richard?
And coming up to home team weather, very mild this afternoon, 79 out in Tuscaloosa, 80 down to Utah. What about some cooler weather in the forecast? The forecast is after the break.
We're continuing our special interview series on the fight against breast cancer. Today we're focusing on treatment options in West Alabama.
And the Alabama defense could have its hands full trying to slow down the Mississippi State quarterback. Gary Harris will have the story later in Alabama's Home Team Sports.